Today, I want to talk about planner guilt while I'm planning for March. I haven't been in my planner all of February, but that is okay, and we will talk about why. But before we get into it, let's do the February recap that's in the back of the month of February and plan for March. And while I'm planning for March, I will again just talk about planner guilt, how to get over it, why we have it, and how it really just doesn't do us any service. Planner guilt is exactly what it sounds like. It is an overwhelming feeling of being guilty because you did not plan. And I think a lot of people who plan are recovering perfectionists, honestly. And planning gives us some control over our lives. And when we don't do it, we can see that, oh, we didn't do the thing that we said we were going to do. What has helped me with that is, one, having a perpetual planner, because I can just plug in the dates from whenever, and two, reminding myself that I enjoy planning because it allows me a space of reflection. It makes me calm, but it never dictates how successful I've been in a month, and I will show you all that in a second. But if you suffer from planner guilt, really, it's okay. It's no reason to quit planning. It doesn't mean that planning's not for you. It just means that you may have gotten busy, and every day, every week, every month, we have a new opportunity to approach our planning from a space of grace and a space of allowing this to be something that helps us grow instead of making us feel bad. So instead of doing what I've done in the past, which is miss a month, miss several weeks of not planning, I decided to start in the February recap and remind myself that I still had a very, very successful month. And as we're building the lives that we want, integrating new routines, integrating the person who we want to be, showing up as the person who we want to be, that is a practice. That is not always innate, right? If you've never been working out, adding workouts to your schedule is going to impact your schedule. It's going to impact your exhaustion levels and things like that. So it is worth forgiving yourself. But let's get into it. So what was the most memorable part of this month? I actually have my own business. I have a secondhand store that is also a gift shop. And the most memorable part of this month for me was vending at my first vintage pop-up event. It was really dope. I did everything by myself from start to finish because my boyfriend couldn't help me. And knowing that if I needed to do this alone, I really could. However, I really do think that that was the biggest contributor to my month just kind of being thrown off. I spent a lot of my free time sourcing for product and not going to the gym. Really, my house was a mess because I was constantly bringing stuff in and playing with layouts. But it was the most memorable, the most fun. I had an amazing time, and I was just unbearably proud of myself. It was one of my goals for this month. I made the amount of money that I needed to make, and I was able to pay for my website to stay up, which is really difficult as I'm not making consistent sales at the moment because I'm trying to do a lot of different things. But I was very, very, very proud of myself for that event this month. What were the 3 biggest lessons I've learned this month? The first lesson was sometimes resetting is necessary. It is okay to rest and come back to something. We can't go hard 100% of the time. I know we have this entire system and everything around us telling us that if you're not committing 100% of your time to whatever it is that you're trying to do, that you're not really committed. And I just don't want to buy into that. I did not go to the gym at all in February. I did not plan in February. I channeled all of my focus and my energy into that event. And it made me realize that, again, it's really hard to do all of the things. And I am very prone to burnout. And I think that is why. It's because I needed to have the perfect morning routine. I needed to have the best outfit. I needed to make sure I got an hour in the gym, eat all my proteins, eat all my fruits, and do this business and work my regular job. And it gets to be so much. So it's okay if you haven't done your thing. I was talking to my mom about it because I was so upset. And she was like, well, let's not call it a relapse and let's call it a reset. And you feel re-energized, you're excited to do that thing again, and you go into it with a clearer focus. So that was my biggest lesson of February. The second one for me was asking for help. And I think that this will continue to be a lesson. Again, because we as a society pride people on doing every single thing by themselves. Even the first thing that I just said in the last question recap was I did it all by myself, and I was so happy about that. Well, asking for help is necessary. Again, I work a full-time job and I'm trying to fill out all these different things that I want to do. And that is a lot of work and it's a lot of energy. Asking my boyfriend to help me move things around in the house, asking my coworkers to pick up extra shifts so that I can rest, and asking my parents to watch my son for me so that I can rest have been life affirming, and it has prevented me from burning out so early. Burning out so early in the year like I did last year. Last year I was not asking for help, and which is why we only got 3 videos up here. So we're trying not to repeat the process. And the third thing that I've learned this past month is taking a lot of deep breaths and crying. I have to release whatever it is that's getting built up inside of me, for whatever that is. Disappointment, excitement, exhaustion, lack of belief, like whatever it is. Taking deep breaths and sometimes just allowing myself to cry, to get those feelings out, to give them space has been very cathartic and honestly necessary. Reviewing your planner from the past month, assess your priorities. Are you happy with how you spent your time? If not, what steps can you take? I didn't touch my planner. That's what we're talking about. I didn't look at this bitch all month. Do you hear me? I don't even know where it was. It's such a, oh my goodness, it's crazy. I am happy with how I spent my time. That's the thing. I cannot do all the things all the time. It's okay. So how I spent my time for the month of February was getting ready for inventory at my job, which is a very in-depth process. I spent my time getting ready for pop-up shops. So I did a lot of shopping. I spent my time decorating my home with some of the things that I found for the pop-up shops. So on one end, yes, I did enjoy and I was very happy with how I spent my month. But what was the offset? I did not plan at all. And that's not a habit that I am trying to build. I am trying to build the habit of planning, finding, an 15 minutes, 20 minutes out of my day to at least review what I have going on for the week. I may not always be able to make it very pretty, but it can be functional and keep me abreast of what's going on in my life. And I also did not work out. I am running the Shamrock Shuffle here in Chicago on March 22nd, and Sister Girl did not run at all in February. But again, it's okay. It's only 5 miles. I won't die, but I'm new to running, so I should be running. But I can't do all the things. I just can't do all the things. And I'm giving myself grace, and that is okay. But what I will be doing differently this month to adjust it is finding time in the morning, like I'm doing right now, to review my planner. So keeping it by my bedside, remembering that any workout is better than no workout. So I live right in front of a really nice park that has like a really nice hill, and there's stairs, and you can like run around, like getting out of the mindset that I have to drive all the way to the gym in order to get an adequate workout. I can run a mile. Running a mile takes about 15-20 minutes depending on the day for me, and then I can come back, and that qualifies as my workout for the day, and it also qualifies as me running. So getting in that mindset that a little bit goes a long way is definitely something that I want to integrate for this month. What did I accomplish this month, and what am I most proud of? I accomplished the vending event. I found it. I applied. I took a shot. I paid for this one. I gathered all the items that I needed. I did my best. I planned as efficiently as I could, and I did it. And I did it. It was very, very fun. I am also proud of myself for paying for 6 more vending events this year. My goal is to just do a little more every year. So I want to say I did 4 or 5 last year. And at the end of this year, I would have done 7 if I complete all of the vending events for this summer. They are a very exhausting little process. So I don't think I'm going to be doing any more than what I've already signed up for, unless they're smaller. But I'm very proud that I haven't given up on my business, and I'm trying to find a way. I feel like Instagram and YouTube and, social media really highlights that businesses coming right out the gate are very, very successful. And I have to constantly remind myself that I may get out what I put in, and I can't always put in a whole lot. And that's okay. And it doesn't mean that my business dream isn't valid. I don't even know all the ins and outs of what I would like it to look like. I mean, I do, but not in a sense of, I want it to replace my main job, or I want to be a millionaire, or, anything like that. It's kind of something that I just get to do in my free time. It's something that I can learn about, and it's something that is more of a hobby for me right now. But I still try to treat it like a legitimate business that it will be one day. And it makes me very, very proud when I put myself out there and I do my best, and good things come from that. So it's very affirming. So I was really happy about accomplishing that, and I was very proud of myself for that this month. How am I different between this past month and the month before it? So that would be, this past month was February, and the month before it is January. And I am getting better every month with understanding I just can't do it all. I can't. I'm not even trying to pretend that I can anymore. This month was business and work. It took up a lot of my time. So I didn't work out. My house wasn't as clean as it could have been. I didn't get to take my son to the museum like I planned. But I still accomplished a lot. I have a a bad habit of looking at the things that I did not get done and the things that I didn't accomplish. And I don't know if you all have ever heard, but like where your energy flows, that's where your thought goes, or where your thought goes, that's where your energy flows. I don't really remember the saying, but basically what it means is that if you keep seeking out certain things, your brain is going to be trained to seek out those certain things. That's why they tell you that with every negative thought that you have, to hurry up and replace it with a positive thought, because you're essentially training your brain to be positive, because our brains are muscles. So if I constantly look at the things that I have not done, didn't take my son to the museum, I didn't clean my house as well as I wanted to, it took me a very long time to do laundry, et cetera, et cetera. My brain is going to constantly seek those out. And that has been a vast majority of my life. And I am frankly over it. So I'm trying my best to praise myself for the things that I am accomplishing and the things that I have done well. And that is the difference between me in February and me in January, is that I am actively working on understanding that just because I didn't get it all done doesn't mean that I didn't get anything done. I have a very all or nothing mindset, and working on that is very important to me. I'm different because I understand that I am doing an amazing job. I know sometimes these recaps may feel like, oh, you're just getting on here bragging about yourself, but it's really not. It's giving myself permission, and therefore also asking you to give yourself permission to congratulate yourself for the things that you did do. You may have fallen short in some areas, but that does not mean that you did not succeed in other areas. There are some things that we are doing and we are doing very, very well. And it doesn't mean that the things that we aren't doing well, that we will never do them well. It just means that, we have to continue to work at it and give ourselves grace. So those are the things that I'm learning. And that is what has made me very different from this past month and the month before it. What or who am I especially grateful for this past month? Honestly, I am beyond grateful for my coworkers, my boyfriend, and my parents. This was a very hefty month. And again, I'm learning that I cannot do everything by myself. Work literally almost took me out. So there were a couple of days this month where I learned that I need to take off. Sometimes the schedule that I wrote for myself, it's not going to cut it. And I asked my coworkers if they could cover a shift or two for me. And they gladly accepted, which allowed me to rest and recharge and not fucking hate my job. Okay. My boyfriend, sometimes I'm just exhausted. Like, again, it's a lot. Like, the life you choose, and I'm trying not to complain about it, but the life that I'm choosing is pretty taxing, and I need help. And one of the days this month, I went over my boyfriend's house and he did all my laundry for me. And it was so helpful because my laundry is downstairs. So I essentially have to walk up 3 flights of stairs in order to do my laundry, whereas his is in unit. And he did all my laundry for me. I got to sit down and do some work on my site. He fed me. I stayed in bed the entire day, and I needed that rest. I needed that. And he helped me accomplish something while I was resting. My parents, I've had a few overnights for work. I'm going to have a few overnights in the month of March for work. Money is tight for me right now. Sometimes, again, I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, but I be tired. I get so tired. And if I call my parents and just say like, hey, is it okay if you all take him to school, or can you just watch him overnight so I can get some extra sleep? It's rarely an issue. And I'm very grateful for that because, again, I'm prone to burnout because taking care of a child and trying to build your dreams is a lot of work. And I'm very grateful for any help that I can get. And everybody pulled in rank this month. I learned how to ask for help, which was it was also very important because they can't help me if they don't know that I need help. But they definitely came in and superheroed for me, which was amazing. Name 3 things you can improve on this upcoming month. What are concrete actions you can take to work towards these improvements? Number 1, sit down in my planner on my days off every week to congratulate myself and to plan for the next week. Like, I have 2 days off during the week. One of those days, I can sit my ass down and get in my planner. 2, do small full body workouts and short runs. As I am sitting here recording this audio, I don't start work until 11. So hopefully I get done with this even with 30 minutes and I can just do a little something because any little thing is better than nothing at all. And 3, continue to rest without guilt. Rest when the house is a mess. Rest when my son is here. He can occupy himself. Rest at my boyfriend's house. Rest, because you can't do anything and I can't do anything and we're running around here trying to do it all. Rest is essential, and it is not dictated on how productive I've been. It's dictated on if I need to rest. So those are my 3. I highlighted my accomplishments for February. I did my 3 YouTube videos. Woo woo. Very excited. And I also made 50. I had a plan to only make 30, get 30 followers or subscribers, however it worked. And I'm in my 50s. So hi, everybody. I did not get 1,000 on Instagram. That's fine. I did not spend time learning how to do Pinterest. That's fine. $500 was what I wanted to make at the pop-up. I think I was a little shy of that. I did do my taxes. So I was very proud of myself there. And even though I did not make bookmarks, I made paper, which was really fun. And I saw my granny. And I haven't seen her in a while. So those were my highlights for sure of February. We are now officially in March, and I was joking with my boyfriend that nothing in my life seems to be slowing down anytime soon. So I'm just rolling with the punches. There's nothing I can do about it. This month's focus, personal, I am running a 5K. I am running the Shamrock Shuffle. I'm very excited about that. And my work focus, at this point, is don't quit, don't get fired. That's it. I have 4 friends that I would love to see this month. I've been doing pretty good, not super great, but it's pretty good. Places to go. I would really like to go somewhere pretty and record content because I've just been working and trying to do little business stuff and trying to keep my home clean. I feel like my content has been just in the house and I haven't really been inspired to record for real. So I want to research some pretty places to go and give my shot at taking my tripod outside and getting comfortable with recording outside and like scripting and just thinking about scenes and stuff like that. Even if it's just a chill day, the weather is starting to break. So maybe that will, pose some inspiration for me to get outside and record some content. Things to learn is still how to post on Pinterest. Pinterest and my Breville. I have a Breville espresso machine and I know I'm not getting the best use of it because I don't really know how to use it. I know how to use it in the sense that I used to be a barista, so I know how to steam milk. I know how to pour my shots of espresso, but it's a whole thing, and I would really like to learn. So that would be great. I still need to get all of my son's doctor's appointments and dentist appointments in, so I'm going to make a plan to get those in this month. Donations need to get out of my house. My house is starting to just accumulate stuff and it's driving me nuts, so I need to get those things out. YouTube is just a priority. I want to keep working on long form content, and I need to do my taxes. So those are the personal things that I'm looking at for March. I'm trying not to overwhelm myself because it is going to be a hefty month, a very hefty month. The first week of March, I'm looking at helping some stores with inventory. So I have 2 overnight days in March. Like, I'm just going to be a tweaker. I'm not going to know what the hell is going on. I've started adding my period in my monthly layout. So just adding like a little period symbol, because I lose a lot of energy. I become very lethargic around that time. So just to give myself a heads up around like what's going on or what's wrong, that is helpful. My cousin is getting married, so I'm also in her wedding. Maybe we'll see some Nigerian wedding content. I will be very excited to record that day. My son has spring break this month. I already signed him up for camp, so we're good there. And overall, it's survive. We are surviving over here and just trying our best to stay consistent with recording and getting things done. That is always the plan, because with how this layout is about to look, with me highlighting all these different sections and all these different days, y'all are going to be like, girl, how? And your answer is, I don't fucking know. I just be doing it. I just try my best and it gets done, okay? This is what I love about a perpetual planner. So as you can see, I'm just changing the dates on the week. I know some people don't like scribbles in their planners. They don't like mistakes in their planners. I am working on perfectionism. I have stickers. That's why I took my sticker books out, and I can just slap some tiny stickers on there. But it's something mentally irritating about me seeing that I wasted pages. So instead of wasting pages, I just changed the dates that I didn't use and replaced them with the dates for the month of March. Yes, that may mean that I'll have extra pages at the end of the month. At the end of the year, but I can always find something cool and creative to do with those pages. Again, Passion Planner is a community. They have so many different little tips and tricks on how to use your planner aside from just planning. And that's just kind of what I plan on doing for the end of the year when I have extra pages, because I skipped a few during the month. As you can see, I did not do a game changer this month. I am always learning different things about myself, and one of those things is I have a tendency to over-plan and overexert myself. And in a way, that is a form of self-sabotage, right? I am highlighting and I'm breaking down what my month will look like. What are some major days for me? What are some major weeks for me? And I do that because it helps me see a monthly visual of what my month is going to look like. This is not a month for me to start anything new. This is not a month for me to try and implement any hardcore routines. This is just a month for me to do what needs to get done and move on to the next month. And I think in the past, I've not done that. It's very addicting to make plans and say like, oh, I'm going to start this routine or I'm going to start this routine. And without having a very honest look at your month, you could be setting yourself up for failure or making it very difficult for yourself for no reason, really. This is not the month for me to commit to anything extra other than what I've already committed to. My next big thing that's coming up is my first pop-up in May. So maybe towards the end of March or the very beginning of April, my focus will shift to just prepping for that. But March, as you can see, it's very, very heavy. I have 1 week of heavy work stuff. I have to go do some business meetings for my mom and myself in March. That's being added. Those things are not usually in there. A wedding, that's not usually in there. A 5K, not usually in there. And there's one day that my son doesn't have school. And then there's a week of a change schedule where he's not going to the same place that he usually goes. So that's even, right, like a shift in routine and a shift in time. What I used to do is just write my goals down blindly. Save this much money, do this many workouts, do this, try a new recipe, and just overwhelm myself and then feel so bad at the end of the month because I'm like, oh, I didn't accomplish any of the things that I set forth for myself. But that's because I wasn't paying attention to what was already going on. Everything that I'm putting in for this month are things that I cannot change. These are not goals. These are not things that I wish I could do. These are the things that are actually happening that I have to commit to because it's work, because it's childcare, because it's things that have been paid for in advance. So this is not the month for me to have a game changer goal, and I think that's okay. It's going to be do the things that are already scheduled to the best of my ability and just execute the little to-dos that I have for this month. Moving into the first week of March, which looks so ghetto. Oh, honey, it's ooh. So it's March 3rd through March 9th. I've committed to help 2 stores with their inventory. One is my friend and one is a store that I've helped out at. And I already know it's just going to be a fucking doozy. So I need to ask for help from my parents this week to watch my son. He's with his dad on Mondays and Tuesdays, but Wednesday, Thursday, I usually have him, but I'm not going to be able to because of my work schedule. So I need to let them know that ASAP. My focus this week is just to rest. And it's okay if I don't get much done. And I wanted to write that down and bring that into focus because, again, my work schedule requires 2 overnights. And it's just not, it's not the time. It's not the time. I do see sometimes to get a workout in and to go to the gym. So I would love to get back on that and do that. But if I don't, I'm not holding that against me at all. So I did put for my focus on a few days to run, restore or lift, rest or lift, ask my parents to pick my son up, sleep in and relax, hopefully recovered, just really bringing to my attention that I will need to rest and that's okay, not to overexert myself, and that is okay. as of today, I did, though, find somebody to cover my Friday shift. So I can cross that out at some point, and maybe in another update. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do these monthly, bi-weekly. I don't know. But, I can update my planner because I found somebody to cover one of my shifts so that I'm not working 7 days straight this week. I also have business meetings this week. Something also got canceled. Today is March 2nd. I did this February 29th. So this is another reason why I'm constantly trying to make time to be in my planner, because plans do change, right? Nothing's permanent. Things happen all the time. So when I originally did this video, I had 2 business meetings on Wednesday. Now I only have 1. And honestly, I'm very grateful because it gives me time to get back to my car so I can drive to work. And I found somebody to cover my Friday shift, and I'm hoping I can find someone to cover my Saturday shift. And then that way I can rest for the entire weekend, which will be very, very nice and very, very needed after a heavy work week. I'm pretty sure I got a bill due this week. I know I get paid. I have not been doing great with budgeting, but it's okay because every day, every week, every month, we can show up and we can be a little bit better. It's not about being perfect. It's not about shaming ourselves into perfection or shaming ourselves into better habits. It's about acknowledging like, hey, I fell off of this for a little bit. Let me see how I can get back on it and make better decisions and choices that will help me be the person that I see myself being, right? But overall, this is just me laying out my first week of March. I'm covering those little dates with some stickers, like I said before, because I scribbled them out from a week that I hadn't used in February. So I'm just going to cover those up a little bit with some little star flower looking stickers. And I'm just going to work on the rest of this page. I am super grateful if you've made it this far. Just thank you for watching. I know there's a plethora of videos on YouTube that you could be watching. My goal for this page is to just document and create habits for myself. And hopefully by the end of the year, I can see that I maintain consistency, but I also hope to find some people where it's kind of like we're doing our planners together. You can mute me and just have somebody here with you doing their planner. Let me know if you want me to do some of these without talking and just do a really nice, creative, in-depth process. Sometimes I'm flying through these and I color code because it helps me, but I could make it more artistic sometimes. Maybe. It depends. I need it to be more functional than I need it to be very, very pretty. But this recap and doing my planners really brings me a lot of joy, and I hope it brings you joy to watch it. I also like to talk about things that I'm overcoming, things that I'm working on, and little mental health things as well, because my planner just gives me a time to reflect and remind myself that we're not trying to be perfect. We're trying to make progress, that I can be consistent with something, and that I am using all the time that I possibly can to invest in myself and invest in my dreams. So if you've ever made it this far, just know I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that you got something out of this video, and I hope that you will continue to get something out of these videos as I progress in my little section of the YouTube world. So thanks a lot. I'll see you all soon, maybe for another planner video, maybe for another plant video, but I will see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.